And here's a thing that I hadn't thought about in 10 years is the first time I ever watched, I watched Tony Robbins' documentary, I'm Not Your Guru on Netflix, like when it first came out. No exposure to the self-help world at all up to that point. But I was going to one of his events in Newark. Friend couldn't use tickets, whatever. So I was going and I was like, I wanted to know what this guy was about because I know he'd been around for decades selling tapes on the radio and whatever. And I watched the documentary, and at the end of it, it wasn't like it was all very cool stuff. Like, and I got it. At the end of it, I was like, I could do that for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
For no reason, I said that to myself. I had no reason
That's
to think
crazy. I
that.
didn't know this story.
I literally got done watching it, and I was like, I think I can do that at some point. I hadn't even like done a push-up in 5 years, probably, let alone done the work.
Right.
But I thought about that. Literally, I thought about that last week for the first time in forever.
That's crazy. That's so nuts.
Forever.
I love that. I didn't know
And
that.
looking back on it now, like in my, like I'm
Yeah.
sitting in my cramped Bushwick
Yeah.
apartment watching this documentary and going, I could probably do that. When, like, why would I think that?
Yeah.
Like I had just quit drinking. That's probably what it was. I'd
Yeah.
like just quit drinking
Yeah.
and thought I could conquer the world, which,
Yeah.
you know, in some ways is kind of true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had that moment. But regardless, you know, my journey started there, and I've been doing men's work both as a participant and as a facilitator for like 8 years or so. I've been around this work. But I never knew like what niche I wanted to go after.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be just a men's coach. I don't know what that means.
Right.
People don't know what that means.
Right.
So like honestly, I probably didn't until you started developing your coursework. And then I
Yeah.
was like, dads, of course. And
Yeah.
you've kind of been hinting at it the whole
Yeah.
time, husbands.
Yeah.
But yeah, dads, husbands, like that world. And the other thing that came to me when I had finally committed to that being where my coaching's gonna live is like that's the only thing I've ever talked about with such certainty about my ability to do it
Yeah.
is being a dad. I've said it so many times.
Yeah.
Being a dad is literally the only thing, and a husband, I will say,
Yeah.
in being a husband, being a
Same.
dad and a husband are the only things that I know without a doubt that I am really good at.
Same. Yeah. Same.
Soccer, I could be the worst player on the field some days.
Yeah.
Work, I could feel like I don't know up from down. Being a dad, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but I feel good about
Right.
every decision I make as
Yeah.
a dad.
We're not
Like,
perfect,
no, of
obviously.
course not. But I feel
We're
good.
not like parenting gurus. You
No,
know?
but we're active and we're
Yeah.
engaged and we're
Yeah, we
really
do our
trying.
best. Yeah.
So it made the most sense to marry those two parts of me, like the men's
But
work
isn't
stuff
it
with the
crazy
dad
how
stuff.
both of us had our own journeys with our like healing journeys?
Yeah.
Like, you know, my life with like the blog and getting divorced and all the public stuff, the cancellations, and also at the same time always being with one foot in like the health and wellness space, always
Sure.
like interested in that, but like never feeling like, oh, it's more of like a hobby. Like I'm into like health and holistic stuff and wellness and like learning about it and reading books about it. I'm into it in that sense. Like it's more of a hobby. And I didn't see it as like a business because,
Right.
you know, I was
Well,
running.
you also had a business.
I had a business and it was very successful and I did really well. But then I used these tools for my own like healing journey and my own process. And then,
Yeah.
same for you too. Like, it's kind of crazy
Yeah,
that
listen,
we both arrived to
we
this
both
place.
arrived at this point, but like it's also one of those things where there's no such thing as an overnight, and nothing's a success yet. But
Yeah.
like we've been at this for a while. We
Yeah.
didn't just up and be like, oh, we're wellness people now.
Right.
Like this is a practice that we've had for large parts of our life, our adult life at this point, and now we're in a position where we can alchemize everything that we've learned over the years